So forget about the next generation of Democrats. The next generation of Democrats will either be insane progressives or they will be, just old people. Well, it's not just Bernie Sanders endorsing Graham Plattner or the Pod Save America bros endorsing Graham Plattner that is indicative of where the Democratic Party is. Again, the Democratic Party continues to simply endorse people who say and do quite terrible things. Abigail Spanberger is running for governor of Virginia, of course, and she has been plagued by the issue of Attorney General candidate Jay Jones. Jay Jones, of course, texted a Republican that he wished to kill the Speaker of the House of Delegates in Virginia and then called that Speaker's children small fascists, even though he apparently knew the kids. Abigail Spanberger is now saying that, those texts were just a poor choice. There's no biggie here.
Well, I want to begin by first, condemning clearly the text that he sent to a colleague, and I condemned them as soon as I learned of them, and called on Jay Jones to publicly explain himself. And I think that he's been quite clear in his apologies and in his taking ownership of that poor choice.
Okay, is he taking ownership? Because taking ownership usually means consequences. But again, that doesn't seem to apply in politics anymore on any side of the aisle, as we'll get to in a moment. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Warren continues to prop up the ghost of Ed Markey, the senator from Massachusetts, in the face of Seth Moulton, a much younger Democrat who's running against him. Moulton is considered sometimes to be a more moderate Democrat than Ed Markey. He's trying to sort of make more progressive signaling toward the base. But here's Elizabeth Warren, who would rather have the very, very old Democrat in the Senate, the more radical Democrat in the Senate, because this is who the Democrats are. They are embracing the radicalism full scale.
I've endorsed my partner in the Senate, Ed Markey. Ed is a terrific fighter. I was just with him at our No Kings rally in Massachusetts on Saturday. And he was out there raising the troops because Ed fights from the heart. He is a good man. And I am honored to be his partner in the United States Senate.
Good times. Good times. I mean, again, he has been in the Senate for legitimately forever, pretty much. I mean, he has certainly been in Massachusetts politics for forever. He was born in 1946. So forget about the next generation of Democrats. The next generation of Democrats will either be insane progressives or they will be, just old people. We'll get to more on this in just a moment. First, your online activity isn't private. Data brokers track everything you do online, your browsing, shopping habits, even your beliefs. In the United States, they can legally sell that information. Companies buy that data to target you with ads. Social media platforms use it to control what content you see. During elections, it's used to influence your vote. To protect your privacy and maintain your autonomy online, you should be using ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN routes all my online activity through secure encrypted servers, making it impossible for my internet provider to see what I'm doing online. That means you can browse without feeling like someone's watching over your shoulder all the time. It also hides your IP address. That's the unique number that identifies you online and allows data brokers to build and sell profiles about you. Without access to your IP or activity data, these companies really don't have anything to work with. I've been using ExpressVPN for years. I use it because I'm on the road all the time. And frankly, my data is nobody else's business. Plus, ExpressVPN is remarkably simple to use. Just one click activates protection across all my devices, from phones and tablets to smart TVs and computers. Plus, it works on up to 8 devices simultaneously, so I can extend privacy protection to my entire family. Find out how you can get 4 months for free by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description box below, or by heading on over to expressvpn.com/Ben Shapiro Show. Meanwhile, I've been talking about this for a while. If you're going to condemn extremism, if you're going to condemn radicalism, if you're going to condemn structures that promote violence, then you really should do that on all the different sides. This should not be particularly difficult. And the fact that people have a tough time with it is bewildering to me in the extreme. And this is why it is worth talking about that apparently, according to CBS News, a pardoned Capitol rioter was arrested last weekend for allegedly threatening to kill a House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries. Court documents obtained by CBS News said that this person was arrested Sunday after saying in text messages he planned to eliminate Jeffries when the top House Democrat spoke at an event in New York City on Monday. He was arraigned on Tuesday, entered a plea of not guilty. He said, "I cannot allow this terrorist to live. Even if I am hated, he must be eliminated. I will kill him for the future." Jeffries spoke about this on the floor a little bit. Here was CBS reporting.
Christopher Moynihan texted threats, terroristic threats, they say, against Hakeem Jeffries, the House Democratic leader, texting, quote, "Even if I am hated, he must be eliminated. I will kill him for the future," about Jeffries. Allegedly, Moynihan not only texted that, but knew that Jeffries was to appear yesterday at an event at the Economic Club of New York and noted that date and that event in the text thread.
Jeffries put out a statement in which he said that threats of violence will not stop us from showing up, standing up, and speaking up for the American people. Now, again, I think that the people who make violent threats are responsible for their own actions. People who promote conspiratorial nonsense that ups the ante on violence, those are people who ought to be called out as well, because that is in and of itself a bad thing. That is why it is quite a good thing that Paul Ingrassia has now apparently withdrawn his nomination. That is a positive development. We talked about Ingrassia yesterday. He was the person chosen to lead the Office of Special Counsel, but he had a long history of truly awful decision-making with regard to his own personal politics. Ingrassia's move came after Republican senators voiced opposition to the nomination. It became clear President Trump's pick to lead the Office of Special Counsel had no path to confirmation. Senators James Lankford of Oklahoma, Rick Scott of Florida, and Ron Johnson of Wisconsin said on Monday they opposed Ingrassia's confirmation. Politico had reported on Monday, as we talked about, that Ingrassia had used an Italian slur for black people and also written, quote, "I do have a Nazi streak in me from time to time, I will admit it." He, of course, is a big supporter of Andrew Tate, among others. Why he was picked in the first place remains a bewildering decision. But yes, there should, in fact, be some self-policing by the parties. Because here's the deal. Either you end up self-policing or somebody else ends up policing you. That is just the reality in life. And when it comes to condemnations of immoral behavior and terrible opinions, seems to me like a baseline moral standard as a general rule. Okay, meanwhile, in terms of actual violent action and incentivization of violent action, again, back on the left, yesterday, a U.S. Marshal and an illegal immigrant were shot in Los Angeles when federal officers opened fire as a migrant weaponized his vehicle and tried to flee a traffic stop, according to the New York Post. The 44-year-old suspect, who reportedly escaped from custody on a previous occasion, allegedly rammed his Toyota Camry into federal vehicles, prompting agents to surround and box in the immigrant's car, according to DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. The illegal alien then weaponized his vehicle and began ramming the law enforcement vehicle in an attempt to flee. Officers followed their training and fired defensive shots. Apparently, the suspect then spun in a way that could kick up smoke and debris at the federal agents. The car started to fishtail, and they moved to subdue him by smashing in the driver's side window. He pressed on until an agent opened fire. An illegal immigrant was shot in the elbow. The U.S. Marshal was struck in the hand by a ricochet bullet. Again, why in the hell we should consider this the fault of federal agents as opposed to the people who continue to incentivize illegal immigration, including criminal illegal immigration, in the United States is beyond me. And yes, people are more likely to attack ICE agents if they know that there is sympathy to them doing so. There's no question of that. Well, that's all for now, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below. Be sure to check out all of the other great content on my channel. I'll see you here next time.